Where is my arena compensation? It's been 2 weeks now! Alliance Wars Attack Tactics are scuffing up Season 27. Kabam Miike responds about dropped inputs and much more. Good day to you everybody, and welcome back to a Marvel Contest of Champions new show for Wednesday. And make sure before the video takes place that you hit the like button and subscribe with post notifications on all. And also subscribing is very important because number one, it's free, and number two, 47.2 people that watch this channel are not subscribed, so please consider hitting that subscribe button because it's free. But what's not free is something that I'm incredibly grateful for are the people that support the channel as YouTube members and as well Patreons. Thank you so much. You're on screen now. Thank you for keeping this channel going and supporting it as it's run as a full-time venture. Also, those that support on twitch.tv/RichTheMan live, that's where I do a lot of my live streaming. And also, if you have Amazon Prime, you can give a free Twitch sub. So please consider myself. You can do others, but please consider myself. Also, those that give tier 1 subs, gifted subs, bits and donations, thank you so much for supporting the channel. And tonight we're going to be doing some side event, and also we're going to do some Call of Duty Warzone with the lads. It's going to be great. Not to brag, but we're coming off the back of 3 wins in a row. We're going to try for the 4th win of a row tonight. So we're going to be the back-to-back-to-back, hopefully back, and then maybe another one, so we'll be the back-to-back-to-back-to-back-to-back. We're just going to win, that's basically it. But now it's time for news and information. So this is sick. This is a GTA 4 loading screen, but it's MCOC. Now, unfortunately, I can't play the audio, but it's set in a kind of like background of like that. Kind of like, if you play Grand Theft Auto 4, then you know, it's me. It's me. It's me on screen. A link is in the description. I don't know if this is done by Ashish, but this is so cool. This actually made my day when I saw this the other day. And yeah, go and check it out, link in the description. But it's very much in a GTA 4 style. Man, I'd love to see more stuff like this. So shout out to Ashish, who I assume created this. Oh, look, it's Karate Mike. And who else is next? It's going to be a surprise. It's Brian! It's Brian Grant, contest champion. Okay, next up, and today is the day that the Grandmaster Gauntlet is leaving us. It will be returning at a later date, but unfortunately it's not specific as when that is. I have asked the question to Kabam and I have got no answer back about when that's going to be. But that's something that a lot of players want to know, and that is when they're going to have a chance to do this again. Oh, and FYI, if you haven't seen my video yesterday with my rewards, you should see it. It is incredibly spicy and goes really well. It's not clickbait, it's spicy. And if I get any answer from Kabam on the subject of when it will return, I'll of course let you know. But yeah, it's confirmed that it will return. But will it be this year? And that's going to be the thing as well. Like, will it be by the end of 2021 we'll see it again? Or is this going to be something that will return back for summer 2022? Which would be kind of like, it's like, well, far in the future, you've got to focus on that being a thing. But yeah, I don't know. I really don't know at the moment. Hopefully I can get an answer soon. Next up, and let's talk about Alliance Wars Season 27 and as well Attack Tactics and how it's been a bit of a failure. Alliance Wars in general has been that, well, I don't really know how to properly describe it. It's either been polishing a turd or it's like revamping it or kind of like twisting it to make it still relevant and fun when the game mode has been nothing but scuff since the day it was put in. So I am surprised that this hasn't been completely overhauled, removed, and something new been put in its place in order to make this more enjoyable, interesting, fun. And look, they're trying each season to make it fun. And I think that's what they want to do with Attack Tactics, is basically kind of look at the pros and cons to this. And look, we're still yet to see the impact of things like Rank 4, 6 stars, relics, you know, and Attack Tactics. So we're trying to find out whether or not there's any kind of like competitive edge, or whether or not there's anti-competitive measures with the stuff. There's a lot to consider with this mode, and that's why personally I don't enjoy the game mode. I have left an alliance that did Alliance Wars. I'm focusing more on Alliance Quest based alliance, which is now giving me amazing just happiness and quality of life to be away from such a fun and scuffy game mode. Now, Attack Tactics were meant to be this whole new thing of like allowing more usage of unused champions that were getting bonuses against certain types of hashtag AW damage over time or hashtag Alliance Wars something or other, or champions that did or had some sort of like buff. yeah, as I said, it's meant to just spice things up and allow either counters or options that you not normally would take to Alliance Wars. Again, this is all about making something that isn't like fun, like relevant in kind of like who you use, what you use, and the game mode being exciting. I've seen on Twitter many people have sent through just like videos of these attack tactics either working when they're not meant to be working or not working properly as intended. I mean, look, it's the usual thing that we have with the game. And there's a big discussion now about the state of this, and especially because Kabam have announced as of yesterday that Season 27 will not go live with attack tactics, and that will be delayed. One of the big points right here is like, well, there's new defense tactics, so didn't you design those attack tactics to counter some of the new defense tactics? Aren't they part of the same game mode design? And it's like, that's really the thing. If you're meant to be countering, what is the? It's like, it's weird, isn't it? Like, why would you have something to cancel out something else? Or I don't know. Maybe this is part of the competition narrative that needs to be, that Kabam are putting in place for you to think more strategically as an alliance as to what you're putting in. But it's like, yeah, lots of people have lots of thoughts on the subject, and yeah. I'm actually relieved not to be doing anything with Alliance War seasons anymore, and I will probably return at a later date, but I definitely want to kind of like go back when this mode seems like it's improved a lot, because at the moment, each and every season that launches, and especially with something new being added, it's just not fun. It's just not fun as it used to be. Saying that, has Alliance Wars seasons ever been fun? To some people it is, so at least they've got some fans out there. Okay, and now dropped inputs. Now I saw this response from Kabam Miike, and I thought it was worth mentioning. So a player said that they wanted Kabam to look into the fact that dropped inputs in this game on multiple different devices just go to show at times it's difficult for Kabam, but also it's frustrating for the player base when optimization is such a concern. It's such a concern because the fundamental enjoyment of the game sucks if you've got things like dropped inputs, you've got battle lag, juddering. It's something of a great frustration. So the point was pushed, and there was being a response, especially here saying the crashing and dropped inputs have been incredibly annoying. I've got to be honest, I was in Grandmaster Gauntlet, I think at the weekend or one time this week, and I was doing a fight. I think I've done I was having a smooth run, and I'd done about 300,000 damage. And my phone closed. My phone just the game crashed. Sorry, the game crashed. And when I came back, I had to repeat the fight. Yeah, granted, I got to kind of like redo the fight, but anything could really happen. Maybe I did. Maybe I didn't do the 300,000 damage I did before. So that's something really that can be really annoying, really frustrating. And that's using an iPhone 11 Pro, which is meant to be one of the, let's say, more modern phones. But to be honest, the phone's ass in any case with working with the game. You end up having to have like an iPad or at least like the 1-year-old device in order to get like a smooth running of the game to a degree. That's not in every case. Maybe it's a daft device. Who knows? But in any case, this kind of like criticism was thrusted at Kabam Miike or Kabam in general, and talking about things like fixed communication with the community and not shut them down because people have legitimate problems. And I don't know whether or not the Android and iOS kind of crashes, lag sections of bugs and known issues are being properly addressed. But anyway, Kabam Miike responds. Let's get to the point here. Kabam Miike says it's not possible for us to communicate on a topic like this because it is pretty ambiguous. While it could look like a single issue, there's no universal crashing or dropped inputs issue. If there were, and it was affecting everybody, it would be much easier to track. So that's like saying like, okay, well, all devices, all on the builds, so like the recent iOS build or the recent Android build, they could just go, okay, well, something's kind of like, popping off that they kind of like can see that's causing an issue. But then there's a lot of stuff with I think investigation. I think there was a time I spoke to a member of Kabam and they said they had not looked into an element of like the game in a long time. I have to like look back and find out when I had this conversation. I probably will be able to like find it, but it's like the element of where it was like looked into was not so intrinsic to like the fighting side of things, which I thought was a very odd response. But again, talking about dropped inputs, device-based stuff. When issues like this come up, we ask our information to help out to get the root of the issue. That's again talking about Kabam, looking at the device-specific problems that you have. This is standard for any game or tech platform. I cannot offer you an update until we have something to say. If we did, we would just be making stuff up, and that doesn't help out anybody. If you have any issues to report, please be sure to use that. But please note that we are always working our hardest to make the game running the best it can be for all players. There's actually no benefit to anyone else. Right. There are a couple of areas to go to, like the lag, crashing, performance, investigation, issue section, and some things that will be incredibly telltale signs as the future of the game will be with other games. We all know that there's a lot of decent mobile games out there, and as well the same thing with Marvel Future Revolution, which drops this year. That is going to be a big telltale sign as to whether performance in-game comparisons between one game and another is going to be seen. So this is a very good time, a very opportune time for Kabam to be looking into Project Genesis, which, if you remember from the dev diaries, they were saying they were going to look at in order to improve the game. Will that improve things like dropped inputs, fight dynamics and stuff like that? Or the way that the game is optimized? Only time will tell, and I really hope that is the case, because there are players out there that are still, each and every day posting on this particular thread, whether or not it's on the Android or it's on the iOS one. I think a lot of people reach a point where they just give up because they're just like, well, do I feel that a lot of stuff that I'm bringing to the table, is it being properly responded to and dealt with? And that's the big thing, isn't it? That's the big takeaway here. Are some of the legitimate concerns being responded to, or are they being worked on or looked into? Apart from the fact of going like, okay, well, let's pump out new content. What is going on in the background? Now, arena compensation. Now, look, let's face it, this is the week. If you saw and watched Marvel Contest Champions news show on Friday last week, you'll know that Kabam said that between the 21st and 25th of June is when you're likely to see a delivery of something into your inbox that is regarding the arena milestones compensation for Summoner Trials for the problem 2 weeks ago. And it's still very much the case. I spoke to Kabam last night and they did say that this is still something they're aiming for, that it's either going to be today, tomorrow, or Friday. So either Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday, because we're still within that 25th of June bracket of delivery. So yes, that's when it's going to be important to look out for your inboxes to see if you've got any sweet, sweet units. And that's going to be nice, isn't it? That's going to be very, very nice to see that. But yeah, that's kind of like just kind of brings you up to speed with that one, if anybody's asking that question. And now on to the final thing to cover, and that's arena predictions. All predictions are down below, as they normally are in this section. Now, with Overseer, I do feel that this champion isn't going to go as high as Purgatory, and that's why I'm believing in 120 mil being enough. But I got to be honest, I feel this champion, because of the lack of hype, may go down to at least 100 mil. But let's say 120 mil to be safe. Also, with the 5-star, 60 mil is what I'm going with. I think that's more top end, and I think it will go lower between that like 40 and 50 mark, but I want to say safe, but that's 60 mil. Luke Cage as a 6-star, again going into the same category and kind of way that that Spider-Gwen went, and I feel that 60 mil is going to be enough for the 6-star, with the 5-star being 30 mil. Again, similar type of place. Like, the champion is of great worth to players and it's fantastic, but at the same time, I don't know if I can overly see people grinding out extensively for a Luke Cage as a 6-star, but you never know, weird things happen. But those are my predictions, all have been down below for you to check out. And that indeed has been the Marvel Contest of Champions news show for Wednesday. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you all in another video later on today. Thank you, bye bye.